Hi, happy Monday. So today we're going to talk about everything to do, not everything, but good things to do before getting into some sort of sales conversation or connection with somebody. And so, yes, sales conversation, but also things that you can do to boost up your energy before writing a social post or writing an email, writing a blog post, recording a video, going live, like any sort of way that you're attempting or planning on connecting with the client. These tools are good ways to kind of hone back in your energy and focus on what you're doing while also boosting you up to a way that people can truly connect with you. I hear a lot from clients when they're doing particular things that either there's panic and it's like I posted something, so I'm not going to look at my social media for a couple hours. Or it's the right before I go live, I have to rehearse it in my head and make sure that I have all the things. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with either of those, but is that the best energy for people to connect with you? Is that the best way for them to feel you, to understand what it's like to work with you, what it's like to be in your presence, to feel your magic? Probably not. And the thing is, if people can't feel your energy when you're speaking, when you're writing, wherever you are, they're probably not going to connect with it. Not connecting with it means they're not going to get whatever wisdom that you're putting out there. Also means they're not going to buy. So we want to amplify your energy so they can feel exactly what's there. They can feel your presence. They can get on board if it's aligned with them. And also, so even if it's not aligned, they can at least be served by whatever you're doing. On the plus, these techniques will also bring you, I'm saying also a lot, I apologize, will also keep you present and focus your energy a bit more so that this is the one thing that you're doing as opposed to getting sidetracked by all the thoughts of the day, whether it's worries or just the distractions or just the things on your to-do list. So we're going to go over actually 4 techniques. And I wasn't going to talk about the first. I didn't even think about it until I realized it's what I do before recording all of these videos. And of course it needs to be included. So the thing that I do, very simple, hand over heart. I actually, since I am recording on a laptop, I touch the screen, like right over where the camera is or off to the side. I'm not going to do that now because you wouldn't be able to see me. But and I hold the computer and just kind of let myself drift into heart space and really express gratitude for everybody who is going to be watching, but also set the intentions that they're going to receive exactly what they're going to receive, that they're going to hear what they need to hear in order to get results. And then it doesn't matter if they are present with me live or if they're coming back later, they're still going to get the energetic boost that they need. They're still going to get the information that they need. So very much intention setting. If I feel like there's any sort of resistance, after I do that, I'm going to hold my throat and do the 2-point, connect my lines between my heart and my throat while reaffirming that I'm saying the right words for people, whatever they need to hear, and just trusting that. Very short thing. It usually takes me about 30 seconds to do, maybe a minute if I've had a stressful day or if I'm not feeling good. Admittedly, today I'm not feeling great, and I had to take a moment with okay, what needs to flow out of me? Let's get into the quantum space and make sure that it does. And if you're not feeling good, if you need to manage your energy, this can be a really great way to make sure that you're not overgiving and that your energy stays balanced, because what's supposed to come will come, what's not won't. So very simple. Okay, so 2, the second thing that I do is check in with my chakras. And this way is going to be a little different for everybody because we all work a little differently. If you're not familiar with chakras, probably at least familiar with human design, and it's close enough. There are some slight differences that I see when working with chakras rather than our design, because design focused on open and closed. And when focusing on chakra work, I just want them all to be running smoothly. I don't want to go into like the nitty-gritty. So when I talk about money, what parts of your body, what chakras become engaged? If you're not sure, you can always go into the quantum space, surround yourself by money, and see what parts of your body are trying to connect with it. Also, if you're not sure, I'll give you a tip at the end. For me, it's heart and sacral that always are like, yep, we feel you. We feel you. And so I'll give you examples for how to engage those chakras in general. As long as you are sending energy or breath to them, you can picture them spinning. That can be enough. You're going to have to experiment to see what your body needs. I can't give you all the answers. But for me, engaging the heart is super simple. Just hand over heart and maybe a breath or two, sending it down to my heart just to make sure that I feel it. And that's it. For sacral, you can do that a whole bunch of different ways. I typically just dance. But you could also hold a carnelian over your womb. You could hold your womb and make sure that you feel really connected to that core part of you. You could just kind of cup as you do some Kegels. And if you're doing Kegels, then it's like focused on bringing the breath up, like Tantra breathing, essentially. We're bringing the breath up as far up into your body as you can. You could also do self-pleasure. There's tons of different ways to do this. Those are just my suggestions. But if you aren't sure which chakra is engaging with money, I would start with the solar plexus. Just because that, I know some people will think root. Root is security, but for me, solar plexus is where we hold worth. And so if we're trying to sell something as a leader, or we're trying to, step up, trying to shine our light, the solar plexus is really where we need that stability and where we need to make sure we're focused on. So you can rub your hands together. If you want to do it with me, you can. Wasn't really intending to lead, but I'm leading you through something. Yay! So rub your hands together. Make sure that you feel a little warmth, a little friction. Put them on your solar plexus and, just anywhere in your stomach, whatever feels right. And you can take a couple deep breaths. Okay, and then you can feel the heat that's there. You can feel your own power. If you don't feel it, set some intentions to really connect with the core of you in that sort of way, the essence of your identity, of your worth, of your leadership. For me, it's the essence of showing up as a priestess. What am I leading you through? What am I guiding you to? If you're still questioning it, as you're here, ask yourself the question of, if I'm showing up as a goddess, what powers or skills am I bringing into the world? Okay. So keep your hands present there. Okay, send a couple more breaths down. And see yourself leading from a place of power. See yourself leading with all of your worth. And know that that's what you're giving to the world. Know that that's what's shining out of you. That's what all your clients and potential clients are feeling. They're feeling that power. And it's entirely safe for them to feel it. They're feeling that connection to you. They're feeling your gifts that only you can bring into their lives. And they're feeling it in a really safe and secure way. Now, picture your solar plexus chakra just kind of spinning brightly. It's moving easily, fluidly, a good pace. You can lift up your hand if you need to while it's spinning. I sometimes like to go in circles just to kind of help it keep motion. And then I want you to picture this bright light coming out of you, connecting to people. And so if you're doing this in front of your computer, you might want to picture it going through your computer and connecting with people through your post or through your live. You can also just see it going out and connecting to the heart of people that need it. But that light's coming out of you and it's shining directly on the people who need to see it, and they are basking in that warmth. You can just give yourself a few moments to feel that. And then again, just kind of like rub your hands and back on the solar plexus after you rub for a few moments, and just set the intention that it's running smoothly and that only energy of the positive vibration can affect it. And then we're done. Super fast. You can spend a lot of time here if you want to. You don't have to. It can be super fast, like super easy. Okay. So another way, I think we're on 3. Another way that you can boost your energy and really connect before you get onto sales conversations or any sort of connection is stepping into your higher self. Again, tons of different ways to do this. So I'm going to share mine. So I want you to think about what you think about around this, around sales or connection. Is it do you feel good? Or do you feel like you're trying to convince somebody? Those are all the things that we want to let go, because we want to step up as kind of like the person who just already has their shit together. The person who knows exactly who needs what and what's right for them. And we don't want to have any of those doubts. So that's why we're bringing our higher self in. So my ritual is to close my eyes, to get into Zen space. I typically go into heart space. You don't have to. If you want to go into heart space, you can just send your breath to your heart. And I tend to notice the mail slot over my heart and watch photographs of all the people, places, things that I love just dropping in until I get there. And when I'm there, I ask to see my higher self. I typically see my higher self actually as one of the cards from the Celtic Fairy deck. It was the first tarot deck I had as a kid, and not sure why, but that's typically what I see. And sometimes that vision morphs into like not an older version of me, but a more wise version of me, if that makes sense. Like it's still very much me, but I can tell the difference in the energy. So however you see your higher self, go with it. If something really unusual comes up, feel free to share so we can walk you through it. But however that comes up, that comes up. And I would take a few moments to see yourself in whatever outfit that you are currently wearing while you're picturing it, and then physically step into your higher self. And so the two of you integrate. And maybe that means you suddenly are wearing what she's wearing, or maybe you can see both of you at the same time. For me, it is literally like stepping into her, and then it's I am wearing what she's wearing instead of my cool, Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness t-shirt. It's her little flowy dress and lots of crystals. And that can be all it is. I like to take it a few steps further, and I tend to think of something that I can wear or keep nearby that represents that shift. And that way I can use it as a trigger point. So it could be an oil, it could be a scent, it could be a piece of jewelry. I don't actually have, well, I sort of do. It's one of the ones. So I typically use power necklaces if I am super getting into it. And I also use rings for this purpose. I usually have a ring for every offer that I do. Not always. My power necklaces are in general. This is one. I don't have the other one nearby, but you get the point. This one, pyrite and pearl and aqua aura. And I made it with the intention of infusing those qualities into me of leadership and wealth and enhancing everybody's ability to grasp information and their ability to move their own vibration. So when I am using the power necklace, it can be I'm putting it on 2 planes. I'm putting it on in the quantum space or astrally. I'm putting it on energetically, and I'm putting it on physically. So then there's a shift and all the realms come together and it brings me into that center. I used to have 2 different sets. So I would use, I think it was this one when I was asking for money, and I had one that's similar. I still have it, but it's broken. I need to fix the clasp. One that's similar that I would use when I was just leading. And I had different intentions set with the 2 different necklaces so that I could feel the difference of what does my higher self feel like when I am selling? And what does my higher self feel like when I am leading? And once you felt that, you may not need that all the time, but it's a good practice to get into really understanding from that place of, no ego, no doubts, no any of that. What does it feel like to take these actions and be very secure moving forward in it? And that's what this exercise does. So you can ponder what is right for you. You could also anoint yourself with some oil. I typically use the same scent. I also have a candle that I use to light when I am stepping into my higher self. It's my signature business candle because I loved it for my business and I only burn it for business now. If you were anointing yourself with oil, I would typically do like root chakra. If your root feels disconnected, other than that, at least like heart and third eye. And you can, if you're going on video, you may not want to put oil on your forehead. That's fine. You can stick it behind your ears or over your solar plexus, like whatever feels good. Your rules. That's all you really need to know. Okay. So third way, kind of my favorite, or fourth way. Can't count today. Kind of my favorite. I don't always do it anymore. I do a kind of a quick version. But if I am feeling, I'm shaking things. If I am feeling a little funny, this is my favorite way to just kind of like reset and bring everything back to center. So you can do this. I'll start. I'll just lead you through it and I'll tell you where you can change things. So I started by picturing a giant crystal above my head. I typically use moss agate or a Herkimer diamond. You can do other stones. You can do it with energy bubbles. I use green and gold if I'm going to do that, but I typically use a stone because I use different colors of energy around me to shield. I like there being a difference. I'm not really sure if it's an energetic difference, it just feels like there needs to be a difference. So you can pick your stones if you're not sure. Start with moss agate or even a quartz crystal would be fine. And you may find that you like using the energy of different stones for different uses. That's cool. So, crystal above your head. It's here. You're just going to watch it. You can close your eyes if you haven't already. Crystal above your head. Watch it, see it. And it's kind of pulsing. You just kind of notice that it's pulsing. And then we're going to take it and we're actually going to drop it down into every chakra of our body. And we're going to do this slowly. You don't need to go through it quickly. And as it hits every single chakra, it's going to pulse and activate that chakra. And we're going to say an affirmation each time that it passes through that chakra so that we can infuse that center with this energy. Okay. So we're going to picture it drop down into your crown. And then you're going to say, I am clear and open to receive insight and guidance from God, the universe, whoever you work with. You can feel free to put your own spin there. And then we're going to take a deep breath and drop it down into our third eye. And I always know the best move for my aligned actions. And if you need to picture yourself knowing that, that's fine too. And then it's going to drop down into your throat and continue to pulse. And we're going to say, the right money words flow through me easily. And then we're going to take a deep breath. And it's going to drop down into our heart. And we're going to say, I sell from a place of divine love. I shine that love out of me through my sales. And if you want to, you can see that light coming out of your heart and shining to wherever it needs to go. You can picture it connecting with all the people you want to connect with. Just let it do its thing. Okay. And take another deep breath. And then drop it into your solar plexus. Let it pulse for a moment. And you may want to repeat this one 3 times just to make sure it's fully anchored in, especially if you have an open solar. I stand fully in my power and I allow myself to be. Okay. And it's going to drop down into your sacral chakra, and it's going to pulse. And you're going to say, I feel pleasure in receiving. And if you want to, you can blend in a little bit of Tantra here and picture I can't do it very well with my hands. Picture an upside down triangle, a red triangle. I usually see like a neon, like red pink, that is surrounding that light. And that's where the pulse, surrounding the chakra basically. And it's kind of like framing the pulse. And so as the stone pulses, the triangle is framed in it, and every pulse is bringing in, like pulling in new energy, and every pulse is bringing in new clients and new people, and it's doing the work for you. You don't have to do a damn thing, and it's lovely. Okay. I'll give you a moment in case you actually wanted to do that. And then we're going to drop it into our root chakra and say it's really fucking safe to be abundant. If you want to repeat that a few times, you can. And take a couple deep breaths. Just let it sit there for a moment. You may be seeing exact actions that you need to do. You may be just seeing people that you need to connect with. Okay, and then we're gonna just drop it. Here for me, it usually turns into light, and then it drops through my legs, down through my feet, into like a chakra that is 10 feet beneath my feet, which is a weird way of saying it. But, it just like flows through me and flushes everything out and then goes back into the ground, essentially. And know that after this, things may come up and you just kind of have to trust it. So you could do the whole thing, picturing yourself as your higher self in the mirror. And if so, you're likely going to see the crystals drop out of you at the same time, and they're going to go like wherever they need to go. I've had clients who have told me that after doing this, they've immediately had a random connection with the exact person that they needed, or like the exact person they needed to fill a spot, or somebody who very much needed something they were thinking about offering. But it's just a matter of like sending in. I use the moss agate because it's a stone of, I think of it as wealth. And so it's reframing and rebalancing all of our chakras so that we can connect to wealth and that we are open to receive. And then we just trust whatever we're guided to do to go forth and take action on so that we're clear. These are my favorite ways, my go-tos typically, to make sure that I'm connected, make sure that I'm focused. If you just feel like you need to shift energy or raise your vibration really fast, you can ring a bell, you can clap like really fast for as long as you can, and then take a few deep breaths, breathe out all the energy that has shifted through you, and go do your thing. So many different ways to do it, but this is a practice that I would love for all of you to try so that you can understand the difference between what it feels like when you're coming in here sick or confused or, lots of things on your mind. Even if you feel good, just like there may be lots of things on your mind, and seeing what it's like with this energetic focus coming through for you. So I think you have a hint of what we are going to explore in homework. It's not going to be terribly hard. You're just going to be doing this. So, bye.